Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I'm here with a new style of Craft IQ with JQ Crafty. And instead of giving us 7 different prompts on 7 different days, she's giving us 3 instructions. So I'll go over those as we go. Here is our new cover. It is so pretty. And then, all my mess. And then I have, like I said, 3 different parts or instructions. So the first part is 1 to 3 pictures, and so I've got these 2 pictures of my daughter, and then I picked 3 papers, which is part of our instructions as well. I picked them from this Colorbox Sports Designer paper. It is from 2012. It needs to get used, and so that's my plan. I have this scrap here, and it's like a field, like a football field. And then I have this scrap here with some clouds, and then this paper from the paper pad that is of the track, which is what my daughter is holding, is a medal from her 8th grade track year. And so the second thing is to put something behind, some kind of element behind the papers that you're tearing. So I have this paper I cut out some stars from and decided I'd use that as a stencil, and then I'm going to map my layout on that. So I'm going to stencil through, and that'll be that part of it. And then the third part is to use your title on the right side, coming down but not straight across, kind of going along this curve of your picture. So, and then I pulled a few little embellishments. I'm pretty much out of track embellishments because I've documented all of her track years. And so I'm hoping that I can get everything accomplished. So I've got my papers, my embellishments, my pictures, and my instructions. So let's see how this goes. So first things first, I got out the Uncharted Mariner. My daughter's high school or middle school color was a teal, and it was kind of hard to match. I had to go to the store to find it. I had 32 I think shades of blue, and I could not find one that matched her school colors. Now she's not wearing her school colors in this picture, so I wasn't as worried about it being like right on, but I did take the Uncharted Mariner to the top of this paper to make sure that it would look okay on that track, because it's brownish orangey colored. So I used this paper, and I just pushed the Uncharted Mariner through a handful of stars where I know a few of them are going to peek out behind. I didn't want it down the right side. I really wanted it mostly on the left side where the embellishments and the papers were going, just to be something to peek out. So I intentionally trimmed the top and the side where I have already put the ink, because I want them to come off the page a little so it continues the page and makes it look like it's not ending. So I tear this piece of paper. The part I tore off was like the football goals, like the bottom part of the goal posts, because it was probably from a football paper, but since the track is around the football field, I felt like if I tore that off, it was fine. And it's a little dark, but I have these clouds, which are from another paper pad. I think it was a camping one from either Recollections or maybe Paper Studio. And so it's also been in my stash for at least a year or two. And so I'm trying to get these things used, and both of those were scraps. So I tear both of those. I mat my picture, which is also part of the first instruction, is to mat your picture in one of the layers that you tear, and it's supposed to be on the left side. So then I found this piece of paper in my stash, and it had a circle cut out of it. So I'm sure I was holding on to that because of the scrap, but I left it intact so I could use that circle as a stencil or a sketch or something in the future. I like doing that. I hate wasting. So I'm going to do a little distressing on the top of this and a very mild amount of distressing on the side. And I'm going to put that down and then cover it, the endings, with this cloud paper, because I'm going to tack this other piece over here so it makes it look like it's more than 11 inches long. It's actually an 8.5 inch piece of paper. And so I put that down and elongate that because I felt like the 2 pieces I had torn originally were just not enough. It needed a little something else to break up and lighten up this layout. So I put this other one down of the football field, and like I said, it's kind of dark. So I tear a little of the dark off at the bottom to give that white edge. And I'm going to cover most of that, but I think that it helps lighten it up and gives it a little bit more of that distressed look, which I love. 2 years ago, you would not have found me tearing paper. I would have been offended by that. Because it's painful. You know, it used to be very painful to tear paper. It's like, it's beautiful paper. Why do I want to tear it? But the look of torn paper brings me so much joy. And so I have to thank my friend Anne Marie for that, because she's the one who encouraged me to do it. And I have torn paper on many a layout since then. So, I put the first picture down, and it's her with the medal on, and she's kind of holding it up. The other one I took was a close-up at the back that says that it's the 100-meter hurdles and that she came in 3rd place, and then her time. And so I just trimmed that down really close, because that's my hand. If it was her hand, maybe I would have left, more of that in, but it's my hand holding it. So I just trimmed that out, and I put it on that same cloud paper, but since it was going to be against some of the cloud paper, I wanted it to stand out a little, so I inked it with the Uncharted Mariner pretty lightly. So after I get that done, the layering is mostly done, and I add this little partial doily that's sitting on my desk, and I ink that up. The pretty part I ink up with what's left over on my dauber with the Uncharted Mariner as well, and tuck that under there. And then I'm going to pull these stickers out and try and use some of these. Now, these are super old. These are Miss Elizabeth's, and they're from 2006. So there you go. Almost as old as the kid in this picture. So I put down Sports Factor down there at the bottom, and then I use the number 5 and 8 because this was May the 8th. And I don't put the year because it's going in the chronological book for this year, so I'm not worried about that. I'm going to figure something out for like separating the 5 and the 8, so it's not a random 5 and 8 down there on that doily. And then I want something up here at the top because I want to add this other ribbon. I put the one ribbon from that Miss Elizabeth's 2006 sticker sheet, but I wanted to add this other one, which is from a Miss Grossman's, which is dated 1998. Y'all, that is older than the kid in this picture. And yes, she wasn't the best. She came in 3rd place, but she's the best to me. And the fact that the child had never run hurdles before in her life, and her mother is as clumsy as all get out. The fact that she can come in 3rd place in the middle school, it wasn't state, but it was the middle school competition in like the end of the year. So it's pretty impressive. I put the number up there at the top, 1951, because that's her time. And I thought about making that the title, not up there, but I didn't like it. I didn't think it would look good putting the 19 and then the 5-1 down. So I decided to title it So Fast. And then I also pull out some word phrases from the Small Talk Tim Holtz collection. And I just did Attitude is Everything with Brave Wings She Flies, which is what I went looking for. That's the one I wanted the most. And You Are Capable of Becoming More Than You Realize, which is so true. She is just something, that girl. Lots of skills, lots of talent. She just does not realize half of it. She's 21 now. In this picture, she was in 8th grade. So, so I took that little bit of scrap paper where I had inked up some stars a couple weeks ago for a layout, or a week or so, and I had a little bit left over, so I just trimmed out a banner and put it up there so I had somewhere to put that other little ribbon. And then I also have these little cute tealy colored like little baubles. And I believe my dear friend Tara, the paper snob, sent these to me in a box of goodies. And I thought that this would work well. It's kind of a blend between that and that blue paper is where her school colors lie. So I thought this would work out well. And I used those to embellish in all the different places. I also used an itty bitty one between the 5 and the 8 to separate it. So it is more like a little dash there, separating the date. And then I put the extras. I wanted to use them all up. So I put 5 of them down the left side of the picture and 3 up at the top of the picture. I just feel like that's a really cute way to use those and to help bring in your eye to the pictures. So here is the list from her from JQ Crafty. If you're interested, you can go to her Craft IQ on Facebook, or you can scroll back or roll back or rewind back and screenshot that if you want to give it a go. And then, so, here it is. I've got my 3 torn bits, or 3 pattern papers. At least 2 of them are torn. I've matted my picture on one of those papers, and I added something in the background, actually 2 somethings with the stars as well as that little doily. And then I curved my title around my picture. And so that is the end of her list. And I'm super excited with trying something new. This will be a lot of fun, and hopefully it'll go over well. So if you all are interested, go check that out. And all the other people who are hopping along and taking part of JQ Crafty's Craft IQ. I hope that you all have a fantastic day, and I hope to see you again real soon. Happy scrapping!